just back from Bougainville Island in Papua New Guinea, where we were trying to measure for the first time the gas emissions from Bagana volcano, which is one of the biggest emitters of volcanic gas on Earth. It was a bit of a mission to get there. Took about 3 flights to get to the island of Bougainville to the town of Buka, and then about a 4-hour boat ride around the coast. Once there, it was about 2 sets of 3-hour walks to get to our base station in the lovely town of Wakobi. I was with a team mostly entirely from the UK, except for me here from Victoria University in Wellington. My particular job was to measure the flux of sulfur dioxide using a flying differential optical absorption spectrometer right here, a micro DOAS unit mounted onto a hexacopter, and this uses the optical principles of sulfur dioxide, which absorbs ultraviolet light. Fly the instrument just below the plume as close as we can to it, and measure how the sun's light is absorbed by the gas. Bagana didn't give up her secrets easily. Over the last decade, has been reported from satellite observations to be in the top 10 gas emitters on Earth. But in fact, it was a bit quieter than that. And all our instruments picked up something about an order of magnitude lower. And it just opens up a whole bunch of questions about how active is Bagana really?
I'm so pleased to see that after all his hard work, Ian's trip to Bagana was so successful. As he mentions, there were some really surprising results, and it will be very interesting to see how his next trip to White Island goes and whether they are repeated or if he gets a new set of information. White Island is a very active volcano. It can throw out some quite nasty and toxic gases. So the more we know about the volcano, the better, the way it operates, and maybe we can be even more prepared for its next eruption.
Some of the work we're going to be able to do at White Island is going to go beyond the scientific objectives that we had at Bagana. So at Bagana, the volcano is so remote and so inaccessible that just getting even the slightest taste of the chemistry of that plume is a major achievement. Now, White Island is more accessible, so we can push our scientific goals farther, and we can get at some really detailed chemistry, of a look at the really detailed way that chemical reactions work in a very strong plume from an accessible volcano.